Yo, what's up guys, it's Select here, and today I'll be showing you 5 Fortnite tips and strategies that have worked since Season 1. Most of this will be more factual and just interesting to look back on, but some might be useful, especially to the newer Fortnite players. Anyways, without any further ado, let's hop right into it. First I want to go over crouch peeking, which is a technique / exploit that was heavily used by Tfue back in the earlier seasons. This is one of the ways Tfue gained a lot of popularity, since he would laser people from across the map and rack up a ton of high kill gain. You would simply crouch and uncrouch extremely fast while timing your shots for right when your head got close to the top of the ramp. This would cause the bullet to go through the ramp, letting you hit your enemy while they have no visuals on you. And since people were quite terrible at building, it was just a kill feast for Tfue. Obviously, this has been patched since then, but there are still ways that this concept applies to Season 9. For example, you don't want to just stand up and shoot at people with their cover, or without moving around. You're going to want to duck down once in a while after doing some damage and move to a different position. Also, never pop your head up from the same spot, otherwise he might be a nice treat for a sniper. Now, I know for a fact that everyone watching has camped in a bush before, and if you haven't, you're just lying, and that's alright, because I have too, and honestly, it was and still is a very good strategy. Some people liked using the legendary bush item, but most just liked moving from natural bush to bush, since they didn't move when they looked around. In fact, the bush item back then was pretty trash. It would break in a storm, was impossible to see through, and it didn't offer any form of protection. Luckily since then, the bush item has been updated to not disappear in the storm, protects you from one bullet, and it's transparent from your view. Just hiding in your bush can easily get you top 25 or higher almost every game, so if you need to complete certain challenges or whatnot, consider hiding in a bush. And remember, when the circle gets smaller and it's harder to find people, don't forget to shoot bushes once in a while, especially the ones that look suspicious, because if you get a gut feeling, you're most likely right. Building wasn't very common back in the older seasons, but when people figured out how to get down from mountains by placing floors each layer, it was game changing. And what's pretty neat is this technique really hasn't changed at all, and it's still the go-to way to scale down natural terrain. Some ways to improve on it is by using ramps, since they provide a little extra cover from the front, meaning if someone is pressuring you, they will have a harder time getting damage, of saving you some health. Pyramids are also good, since they have a higher base, so if you fall too far down, without placing a build, you have a chance of taking 0 or just a little fall damage, whereas if you were using a floor, you would most likely take a hefty chunk of damage. After this technique was discovered, some found a glitch where if you slide backwards down any natural high and hold your forward key, you wouldn't take any damage. You can see it showcased here by the gamer couple, and as you can tell, it was quite OP. So not too long after, it was of course patched and removed from the game. Another technique that was first used in Season 2, but not as much in Season 1, was the single ramp wall push. If you were able to do this and actually use it effectively in game, you were considered a pro, since most people would just place the single ramp on the ground and use that as cover to try and gain the high ground. So the people who went a little higher while supporting it with walls were insane. Dakotaz was one of the streamers who first started incorporating ramp pushes into his gameplay, and that set the base for all the new and crazy ramp pushes that were to come. The reason I still think it's a useful ramp push is because it doesn't burn many mats, and if you're fighting an intermediate player like I was here, it just gives you a leg up to fire down on your opponent from. I'll show another neat kill right now, where I used the reset bait technique to destroy my enemy. Speaking of baiting, the last tip that still works to this day is placing a loot on the ground, then hiding nearby and waiting for the right moment to open fire on your opponent. Because back in Season 1 there were many types of traps to use and everyone was so curious, so the second they saw loot, they would go for it without checking for traps. You can place something near a bush and hide in that, or place a trap on the roof of a building and place something on the floor beneath it, while also hiding behind the stairs, if you're in a house of course. but make sure to not try and make it too obvious by dropping some ammo and meds. This will make them think it's an unloaded kill. But don't forget that most pros will know about this, so take the shot before they get extremely suspicious. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed or found anything of value, I would enjoy feedback. With all that said, I hope you guys have an awesome day.
Keep it on the level. Keep it on the level. Keep it on the level. I'm climbing up the. Keep it on the level. Keep it on the level. I'm climbing up the ladder while you in need of a shovel. I can do this all day. I can do this all night. I can do this all day. I can do this all night.
I could do this all day, I could do this all night, all month, all year, for my whole entire life. Who you know got a home but seen to live on the road, looking like a black gypsy in a caravan of bros. Music for the people, I used to rap on the train. Now I rap on the stage and I'm used to capital gain. I ain't asking for change, I'm good at coining the phrase. What I want is more than ever and never to fade away. Is that too much to ask? Good, cause I ain't asking. Already into action, I had your answer retracted. So stay about my business, it's crowded enough with me. You added is just a witness I'd rather not even see. I'm good with the folks around me, get from round me before we commence the clowning. Yeah, keep it on the level, yeah, keep it on the level. I'm climbing up the ladder while you in need of a shovel. Skedaddle.